Okay, viewers, this is still Marty Big Ben. Please do not forget to hit up the subscribe button and the bell button as well. So let's solve question number 2. Now, question number 2 on Venn diagram says a number of tourists were interviewed on their choice of means of travel. Now, 2/3 said that they traveled by road. So by 13/30, by air, and 4/15 by air and road. If 20 tourists, did not travel by either air or road. First question says, represent the information on the Venn diagram. Second, how many tourists were interviewed? And the third said, how many tourists traveled by air only. Now let's work on this one, which is to represent the information on the Venn diagram. Now, a number of tourists were interviewed on their choice of means of travel. Now you see, 2/3 said that they traveled by road. So we have both road and air. So automatically we're working on two events. Now, 2/3 said that they traveled. That's 2/3 said that they traveled by road. So let this be road and this by air. Okay. Now, 2/3, that is 2/3 by road, and 13/13 said they go by air. That is 13/30. And 14/15 by air and road. That is the intersection of travelers by air and road. People that move both by air and by road are what? Are 14/15. So here it becomes 4/15 rather. Here it becomes 4/15. Now we want to get for road only. So here it becomes 2/3 minus 4/15. And taking the portion from this place, here becomes 13/30 minus 4/15. Okay, so this is the representation of the first one, which is the Venn diagram. So next, now we want to get the number of tourists that were interviewed actually, because the total number of interviewed tourists wasn't given in the question. So we need to get the total number of tourists that we actually interviewed. So how do we go about this now? So we have to get that of road separately and that of air separately. So now we want to get number of road only. Let's get those who were interviewed by road. By road only. So road only becomes just 2/3 minus 4/15. Here guys, the LCM here is 15 to 3 is 5 times 2 is 10 minus 15 is 1 times 4 is 4. So guys, 10 minus 4 is 6 divided by 15. Okay, what can go? 3 can go here. So 3 here is 2 and 3 here is 5. So guys, here becomes just 2/5. So 2/5 represents the number of people that move or travel by road only. So next now, we want to obtain the number of people that move by air only. So number of people that move by air only. By air only. So air only becomes 13 divided by 30 minus 4/15. So guys, see now the LCM here is 30. Here becomes 13 minus, here becomes 6. Because this will give me, 30 divided by 15 is 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, so let's move on. Alright guys, now let's move on. 13 minus 8 is 5, and I have 5 here over 30, 5 here 1, 5 here is 6, I have 1/6. So guys, number of tourists that travel by road only is just 1/6. Alright, so now what else do we need to do now? We need to get the total number of tourists. Okay, I think I have to clean this place now. Yeah, I need to clean this place. I hope you've copied down the questions. Let me just stop at this very juncture here. Good. So now we need to get the total number of tourists that we actually, interviewed in the system. So, but before I do that now, I was okay. Now let X be the interviewed tourist. So we want to obtain X. Let X be the interviewed tourist. So by switching now, we want to obtain the value of X. Now having X to be the number of interviewed tourists. So now, by doing such, let me clean this place. Okay, now we need to get for those that travel by road only, and that happens to be 2 over 5. So I have 2 divided by 5 x plus. Now the intersection, those that travel by road and by air, that is 4 over 15 x plus those that travel by air only, which happens to be 1 over 6. I have it to be 1 divided by 6x plus those. I think in the question here it was written that 20 do not travel by any of the means. Okay, so that 20 should be here. Then plus 20 is equal to x this way. Alright, so now the LCM here, guys, the LCM for the left hand side here is 30. So having the LCM to be 30, 30 divided by 5 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12x plus 30 divided by 15 here is 2, 2 times 4 is 8x plus 30 divided by 6 is 5, 5 times x is 5x plus here is like over 1, so 30 divided by 1 is 30 times 20 is 600 is equal to x. Now 12 plus 8 plus 5 will give me 25x, okay, plus 600 all over 30 is equal to x. So guys, if I cross multiply here, I'll be having 25 plus 25x plus 600 is equals to 30x. Alright, so now what next? Now we want to obtain the value of x. So to obtain the value of x by collection of like terms, I would have it to be 600 here is equals to 30x minus 25x, and 600 here will be equals to, let me just create this place, 600 here will be equals to 5x. So please, from here I'm moving up to this point now. Okay, so in this case now I have it to be 5x is equals to 600. This is 5, this is 600. So therefore this implies that my x here becomes 600 over 5. So x is now equal to 12. Okay, x is 12. Sorry, x is 120. Sorry, 120, not 12. 120. So now the number of, here I say how many terrorists were interviewed. So the number of interviewed terrorists, okay, is 120. Alright guys, so now we are done with question B. B is solved, so the value for B is 120. Now next is how many traveled by air only. Okay, now guys, this is the last one. How many traveled by air only? So let me clean up this place because of space. Alright, now the last one, which is I think BII. Now how many travel by air only? So we want to obtain the value of number that traveled, that is how many travel by air only, by air, travel by air only. So we want to obtain the number of tourists that travel by air only. Now by air only here we have it to be 1 over 6. Okay, by air only here is 1 divided by 6. So we now have it to be 1 over 6 multiplied by the total number of interviewed tourists, which is 120. Okay, so we have 1 over 6 multiplied by 120. Definitely 6 here is 1 and 6 here is 20. So my final answer to this question is 20. Okay, so guys, The number of tourists that travel by air only is 20. Okay, so let me just make a brief recap of what I've taught. Those that travel by road only are 2/5, to 5th. Here is just 1/6 people that travel by air only. So number of interviewed tourists is 120, and number of those that travel by air only is now 20. So guys, I hope this question meets you very well. So do well to follow me up in my next question as we explore more. Thank you.